Okay, I got a new piece of hardware. Preamp. I wasn't expecting it. It was delayed in the mail. And let's hop right into it. I am kind of ditching my green screen as of late. Just because it's too much work of some other stuff I'm doing with the open muscle, so I'm just trying to not care as much about the green screen. Just relax a little bit and play some Trackmania. Hope everyone's doing well. I got to release one of my videos today. That was pretty exciting. That I posted today. Let me find it. So this is what I did today. I was kind of excited about. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys. So there's more on that. oprosthetics.org. Just a kind of a non-profit I started. I still haven't filed yet, but I still release everything in the GNU public license, so it's free for all of humanity. So people can produce it, make a better product, compete over making the better one. But the design and information is free. Code is, everything is just so simplistic. It's just needs to get into the literal right hands of people. I got it working and working on machine learning. And the Somatis sensor that I got, that they say is open source. I mean, there's not enough documentation. I mean, it might be open source, but there's not much on it. You pretty much have to reverse engineer it. So I started messing with it, and the Somatis sensor, that's in the box behind me. So I'm just designing my own, and I know it's going to be better, but the input and the training data is going to be like almost identical. Well, it actually will be identical in certain regards. So by designing them both together, I'm having the most capable suite here. Which I'm sure other industries are going to like this Somatis sensor that I'm building for hand. It's just a hand gesture sensor. But it's not for that, it's for prosthetics. And like everyone else is using like these flat sensors, like, oh, make it flat, look at this. Literally, how there's this band that someone developed. It's like $200 you can buy, and it seems to get data. It's like an EKG machine. It tries to detect when the nerves send signals to your muscles. The thing is, there's a lot of noise. Everything's about signal-to-noise ratio, and you can literally. So there's a video of another company, was a prosthetic making company. So they had this prosthetics hand. And they showed in the background someone using that, and they mentioned in the video, hey, you know, we've looked at other products, but then they focus on their current prosthetic, which uses just levers that are on this prosthetic device, and those levers most likely are sending some kind of digital signal. So it's just like an analog lever, which is again connecting to the muscles. So I'm just making a prosthetic band that's specifically measuring the topology of the forearm. It's like, I mean, the signal is detected. You can put your own fingers on your own forearm and tell that you could differentiate the different type of hand gestures with your own hand. Someone just commented on Imager that the bad thing about it is you need two hands to do it. And that's the thing. That's why people that have should try to help people that do not. And so that's why, of course, everything's open source and free, just because I got so mad at other companies. Like I like seeing technology online that's advancing, but there's this guy that had no arms, and they literally had surgery to replace the nerves that were going to his arms into his pectoral muscle. And they built this apparatus that goes and detects the muscle contractions by these little disposable medical EKG machines, whatever they call a muscle sensor. Anyways, the thing is it was proprietary information, so this guy couldn't take it home. And like they kept on showing him using his mouth to like light a fire in the furnace. And I'm like, they just did surgery on him. Why is he not taking this prosthetic home? And they're like, oh, well, they kind of explain it in the video. They're like, oh, well, he can't take him home because it's dangerous. Like, what? You give someone arms and then take them away? And it turns out you can only use these for like 2 hours a month. So literally, they built a prosthetic for this guy that only he can use. And he can't even take it home. I mean, that's worse than chopping off someone's arm. It's like, oh, they're dangling the arms in front of him. I don't know, it just made me so mad. That technology should be free. There should be no proprietary thing stopping it. So, I'm going to make everything for free myself. So, that's the impetus of it. I got very frustrated. Mad. That's not how society should be. So, which is also cool because I have a whole suite of sensors that's not just for prosthetics, but I also have some vision impairment and other items that I'm working on too. So all these will be open source, but I'm trying to do one thing at a time. Me and my old roommate Eli had this philosophy. He called it sniper mentality. You get something done, and it's like a sniper. I mean, it's a bad analogy, but we're gamers. It's a video game, right? That way you don't have to worry about it again. You know, get something so completed that you don't have to worry about it and focus on the problem. So yeah, so first this, and then my mom actually has a cochlear implant, and so I used to have a recording studio, so a lot of analog signals are easy for me to kind of work with, but I'm trying to get a better, not necessarily make a cochlear implant by any means, but just the processing, how they process audio that goes to it, because an audio engineer would have a little bit more expertise screening from the field than just an audiologist, maybe so, but if I try to do mixing and mastering, hopefully my mic sounds decently. I actually just got a preamp for it today too. But where's it going with that? I don't know. Pontificating. A soliloquy. But yeah, so yeah, I have this vision impairment. That one is heavily code based, but I think it's pretty cool. Everything's close, but the sensor for the muscle contraction, open muscle, works very well. And I just want better machine learning, so that way it's not a waste of time, and it'd be better to just improve it and doubling the sensors. And the PCB should be here, hopefully within 2 weeks. 2 weeks, excuse me.
You sound like a parakeet there.
But yeah, that's my rant. And if you can tell, I'm passionate about it. But yeah, they took away the guy's arms. It's like, what? No, there should be no corporate entity stopping someone who had surgery for these specific arms to not have them. But that's my rant. That's my theory. My life theory. Oh my goodness, Matt Pat. Stuck in my head. But yeah, so it's a lot of exciting stuff. Finding the right springs was difficult. Luckily, gamers come to the rescue again. There's a TED Talk of this guy talking about trying to fight malaria with a hacker mentality. They took the Blu-ray lasers from gaming consoles and the cameras and GPUs to actually fire a non-lethal laser at a mosquito, detect the frequency of its wing beat, and thereby also detecting its gender. Because apparently different gendered insects have different wing beat pattern. But they just looked at the life cycle of the malaria problem and just see where try to see where they could cut it. So it's bringing a hacker mentality, like hacking machines into a different sector. They're like a think tank of sorts. But yeah, gamers came to the rescue because GPUs have become so inexpensive because of gamers. And then now cryptocurrency mining people are big on GPUs too, making them more expensive, but gamers would make it cheaper, right? But what was he going with that? Yeah. So gamers came to the rescue in the fight for malaria. So they took the laser, fired it at the mosquitoes, detected the wing beat. Hey, it's a female. Hey, it's like, you know, in its cycle, ovulation cycle. I'm not sure how insects work like that, but they then zapped its wings off so it couldn't fly, thereby killing it. So it's kind of neat. With the same laser, I think they just put more power to it, or they had two different lasers, whatever. But they're thinking of making like these virtual nets with pretty much Xboxes or PlayStations. I'm not sure which one they were using. But yeah, it's the technology that's being used for games. That's also what I'm working on with the vision, the people that are vision impaired, is just actually calculating the location of objects and using a similar form of echolocation, but pretty much just making the edges of things glow in the audio frequency. Because if people can do echolocation just by clicking their tongue, just imagine what you could do if you just fed the data directly into their ears. So why don't you just put it at a lower decibel, so that way certain things have different flavors of color. You just want to isolate it. Because game engines, I don't know if you know about this, but I had a recording studio for a while. I am talking a mile a minute, but games actually use three-dimensional sound. So I don't know if you know this, but your ears are located roughly 10 centimeters away from each other. And You can tell if something's ahead of you or behind you by the fact that you have ears, because the ears will muffle the sound. Also, you can tell where it is spatially, either before you or behind you, because you have two proximity sensors. So if it hits your right ear first and then your left ear, you know it's closer to your right ear. And that leaves it only in two possible locations in a two-dimensional space, which is ahead of you or behind you in the same. If that makes sense. So yeah, I don't really want to get a diagram, but anyway, so yeah, so you actually know where things are spatially because of a delay. Anything below less than 32 milliseconds is perceived as reverb. Anything greater than 32 milliseconds is considered delay. So if it's less than 32 milliseconds, it just seems like it's at a certain location. It's your right ear first, your left ear. And the loudness would be more loud in the right ear, less loud in the left. We use this already for mixing audio. The Beatles made stereo pretty popular. So games use three-dimensional sound, so you can literally hear where things are three-dimensionally because they do this calculation. They do it even more so with light. Ray tracing is tracing the photons pass as it bounces off objects. So echo tracing or sound tracing is not that difficult. It's not that heavy computational power. So that's what I'm working on, is pretty much making edges glow in 3 dimensions and feeding that information to people that are hard of hearing. So you get them a visual or audio feedback to visual stimuli. Also a back sensor. You could physically tap into the extra nerves we have on our back, high density, or another sensory device. But yep, all these are going to be open source. Well, they are, as soon as I get anything semblance of something that can be 3D printed or whatever, I publish it under the GNU license. And I believe it's the same one as Linux. I'm no lawyer, so Apache, Linux, MIT license. Just the ones that are free for all humanity. I think if I'm not mistaken, like I said, I'm no lawyer, but if you produce things under those licenses, people can use them for free. They don't have to pay $1. They can use them commercially. But if they make improvements, they also have to publish that. And I mean, I don't know if people know this, but like most of the internet is based off of Linux. It's like, what, I don't know, 70% of the internet runs on Linux servers? So literally, you can thank free information to Linus Torvald and Linux. And just the quote-unquote, the real hackers. Like, that's why one of the videos I posted, I don't care about monetization, so I just used the Prodigy song from the movie Hackers. But I think the ethos of Hackers is like to give information to humanity, better humanity. We all live on this planet together. Maybe not just one planet for long. But yeah. But yeah, it's been an interesting journey. This is my 8th month of sobriety, or 9th month actually, but I have 8 months. So it's kind of awesome just to have my brain again. Thank God, and just amazing. It's fun. Didn't realize how much you can be physically dependent on alcohol. Unicorns, we thought we were. My buddy just got a year too. It's super awesome. Yeah, life has interesting hurdles.